Now I know I am insanely late to the party with this video. Thing is, I'm not the biggest magnesium cheese grater fan, and I think you all know that by now. But the normal B-Stacks is definitely a mouse that I can recommend if you're looking for that magnesium mouse to fill that spot on your desk. And in this video, you'll finally find out why I constantly recommend this over the WLMOUSE Medium any day of the week. But before we do that, I wanted to mention that only about 12% of you guys actually subscribed. So if you're interested in any upcoming reviews, definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it. I also do want to mention that this mouse was sent out to me by WLMOUSE themselves. But as you know, as always, this will not impact my opinion about the mouse whatsoever. I also do want to mention that there is a shit ton of drama going around WLMOUSE. If you know, you know, but basically there has been a lot of doxing and also mouse breaking going on. So yeah. Anyway, getting into the mouse itself. The shape is a literal WLMOUSE Medium clone. That is it. I will not get into it any further than that. If you don't know what the WLMOUSE Medium shape actually is, it's just this very generic medium-sized flat profile shape. My 19x10 aggressive claw grip actually does work with this mouse, but I'm definitely nearing the end of the mouse buttons over here. I would definitely not recommend this for a relaxed claw grip if you have 90x10 hands or bigger. I cannot relax claw this thing. And if you play fingertip grip and want a medium-sized mouse, this is absolutely for you. But then again, remember that it is still a cheese grater. And talking about the holes in the mouse, let's actually get a bit deeper into them. First of all, the top holes are not annoying to me personally whatsoever. I basically don't feel them the way that I do my aggressive claw grip on a mouse. The side holes on the left side is also not annoying for me because my thumb goes right into this bottom of the slit here. So I always have my grip in the same exact position and it's not really that annoying to me. But the right side, however, is a whole different story, especially because this mouse isn't really one that has these really flared out sides. So you do need to squeeze your hands together in order to get a decent grip on the mouse. And the way that I grip my mouse, I do end up at the very end of the mouse upwards here, so my fingers dig into these two side profile holes here. It's not the most comfortable thing in the entire world, and as I've said a billion times, I'm just not the biggest cheese grater fan, and I definitely prefer solid sides. But if that is something that you actually enjoy or you just don't care about, yeah, there's no reason not to go with this mouse. Weighing in at around 40 grams, which is about 1 gram more than a ULX, this thing is definitely very interesting for those who were pretty hyped for the ULX but ended up seeing how shitty it actually was for the price. And when it comes to the coating on my purple edition I have here, it is very solid. I can absolutely use this mouse without any issues, and coming from other magnesium mice where that is just simply not the case, especially the dumpster fire of a coating on the Starlight and also the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, this is just that much better. They also have a Miami colorway which has like this really rubberized coating, which is even better than this. So with my dry environment and when my hands get warm, I never have issues gripping this thing whatsoever. I also quickly want to touch on the unboxing experience since it is very great. It's this very premium fold out box experience where you have your mouse here and then you also have your cable, which is just a USB-A to USB-C. They also have these grips inside of the box, which are pretty thin. They kind of remind you of super grips, but they're not nearly as grippy. But yeah, they're absolutely fine for being stock grips, especially compared to the ULX stock grips. Then you also get some extra small skates, which are these very hard dyed PTFE skates, but they're not as slow as like the Sawi PTFE skates because these are definitely hardened compared to those. So the glide is actually on the faster end, and I've been using these black PTFE skates for a while, and honestly, I really don't have an issue with them, which is very surprising to me since I'm normally the biggest dyed skate hater on earth. Oh, when it comes to the fucking buttons, the main clicks are insane. These are probably some of the best implemented clicks that I've ever felt in my life. They are using the Omron opticals, which I don't even remember a single other mouse that uses them already. But basically the click experience is very crisp, and because of the magnesium sound, oh man, this thing is something else. The buttons are definitely still spammable, but also have this very crisp activation, so the overall click experience is freaking goated on my unit. And talking about on my unit, when it comes to the actual QC of the mouse, I have zero issues. I can kind of stubby squeeze the thing without having any issues, but I feel like if I were stubby and would try to flex this sidewall, I would break this metal part instantly. because it is actually that thin down towards the bottom. And I don't know why I'm saying kind of, because he actually broke his instantly on day one. But other than that, I don't have any QC issues at all. But when it comes to the rest of the buttons, the side buttons also feel pretty final mousey. They're definitely spammable, pretty crisp, really solid. Scroll is insanely quiet, but it feels really nice and has these defined steps whilst not being too heavy. Again, I'd say that this is a perfect implementation. And mouse free is also pretty spammable, and yeah, again, one of the best implementations I felt. In terms of battery life, this thing is actually pretty darn solid. When I use it on 4K, I could easily use it for several days in a row, and it absolutely smashes the battery performance on my WLMOUSE. So if you're one of those guys who actually do want to battery mod it and get below those 39 grams and beat the ULX, I could definitely see that being possible. But since it's been all well so far in this video, it's time to get into something not so good. This is the fucking 4K dongle. Let that sink in. This is a dongle. It's not a Rubik's Cube. It's not a beacon, it's the dongle for the mouse. It is a pretty cool idea since you can display anything that you want here on the face of it, so that you're able to spot your favorite peripheral YouTube video at all time. In terms of the actual 4K performance, I have not measured anything myself since I'm not a tech spec nerd, but I have heard some pretty bad things about the implementation, and I've also been contacted by another company and heard many people talk about a custom firmware that a company called Santali Group is doing. Now, Santali Group is a very interesting company since they did want to produce a very old OEM magnesium mouse, but they seem to have drifted away from that decision and they're now focusing on their new 4 to 8K hertz firmware, which they say is night and day difference, but I don't know a single guy who has tested that yet. So all I can say, this is probably more of a Mickey Mouse 4K implementation. The good thing about it is that the 4K dongle is actually included within the mouse, which is absolutely not a standard these days. Also, huge shout out to all of the companies doing that. But yeah, in terms of software, I don't even want to pull it up on screen for you because it's just very basic. You can change anything that you need. You can change the display, you can change the RGB on the dongle and everything like that. You can set your macros and whatever you want to do, it's all there. And I'll make sure to list the software down in the description for you as well. Now, when it comes to my opinion, at 139 USD right now, I do think that this absolutely beats the shit out of the final mouse in most aspects. Of course, this is not any homebrew self-made 8K firmware like on the OP1 8K, and it's not this huge milestone in peripheral technology, but in terms of the actual hardware that you get for your money, and if you wanted that final mouse medium shape, this is absolutely for you. The click implementation, the scroll implementation, the coding on this magnesium mouse, everything is just super solid. And if you're fine with having a cheese grater and you were hyped for a final mouse, just get it, honestly. I do, however, have to I also have to mention who this mouse is not for, and that is definitely if you have trypophobia or you don't like side holes like I do. I could never main a thing like this. The side holes are definitely rounded off, but they could also be rounded off more since I do feel kind of a sharp edge when my flesh gets like really deep into those grooves. I also do want to do a segment on the Beast X Mini since most people are probably interested in that one now. The color variants and all of the options of designs that you get on the Beast X Medium and also the Mini now, you're absolutely insane. It's probably one of the very most customizable mice out there right now in terms of color options and designs. But yeah, the Beast X Mini is not a direct clone of the Final Mouse Small. It is actually quite a bit more narrow, and if you want more opinions on that shape, definitely go watch some reviews of it by my fellow reviewer friends, because I can definitely see many people thinking that it would be a small clone since this is a medium clone. Other than that, I've also heard about some issues on those Beast X Minis, but then again, I would definitely go watch some reviews before you go get it. Don't go ahead and buy a Beast X Mini just because I spoke about the medium copy that I have. Well, but if you do actually want to get a Beast X Mini or a medium, definitely go use code JQ at checkout or use my link in the description to go buy it, because we do actually get a 10% commission fee off it. I'm not telling you to go ahead and buy it so I can get more money. I'm just saying that if you were to buy it, please use my code, because then I can go get more mice and mouse pads that I can't get units off to do reviews for you. And if you've been wondering why some people have been shilling this unnecessarily or like despite even not owning the mouse, now you know why everybody has a code. Other than that, that's about it for this video. If you're enjoying the content or looking forward to any more peripheral enthusiast reviews, definitely go hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell right next to it. Peace out.